Guys, I love Thomas the Tank Engine. If I haven't made it obvious from my multiple references on the channel, and just having a whole Thomas channel in general, this is my favorite show of all time. I'm 15, by the way. Thank you for asking. Anyhow, today I'm not only going to be talking about the franchise's history, and also some history of it in my life, but I'm also going to convince you, or at least try to, try to convince you to watch the show. So yeah, welcome to my sales pitch, I suppose. Okay, since I'm making a Thomas video anyway, I'm just gonna use this profile. Hope you don't mind. In fact, you'll probably like it. Anyway, as for Thomas's history, in 1945, 80 years ago, the Reverend Wilbert Audrey wrote The Three Railway Engines. The book was a big success and led to him writing another one, leading to the second book, Thomas the Tank Engine, which blew up. This led to a whole book series and eventually a TV show in 1984. This is probably how most of us learned about the little blue tank engine. From there, Thomas had 24 seasons, 14 movies, a reboot, merchandise galore, and so much more. So yeah, that's basically the shortened up story of Thomas and all his friends. So what's my history with the franchise? As no one asked, but I'm gonna answer anyway. I don't really have a good idea of what my first exposure of Thomas was. I've seen a picture of me getting this Blue Mountain mystery set when I was a toddler, so I decided to ask my dad, and he said it was the one where Percy got an icicle nose. Seeing as it was on the Thomas the Snowy Surprise DVD, it's safe to assume It's Only Snow was my first episode. DVDs were about my only exposure I had as a kid anyway. Soon I found out about the Nitrogen episodes airing on TV, and so I stuck to DVDs because the Nitrogen era was not good. This was all up until 2017 when I decided I was too cool for Thomas and moved towards more action-packed shows like Ninjago. Hint, hint. A few years later in 2021, I was watching TV with one of my friends, and I saw an All Engines Go commercial, and it broke my heart. Even though I hadn't watched Thomas in ages up to this point, I was devastated. Seriously, I feel like a breakup would be easier to deal with. Anyway, then after this, I went to my old DVDs and to see if Thomas was always really this bad, and then I saw the light. So, for the next couple of years, since then, I've just gotten more and more invested into the franchise. Then 2024 happened, and by this point, I've just accepted I'm back in love with the franchise. Those first 7 seasons just felt like home. There's no better way to explain it. In 2025, I decided to go full Thomas mode for a year. It was the 80th anniversary after all. And then the pilot released. I smiled so much it hurt. Then I started collecting Restored Old Wooden Railway Henry on my new channel, Talk Thomas, and it became bigger than this channel, so is that something I should be sad about or happy about? You tell me in the comments. So yeah, that's basically my history and where I am now. Although I do want to make a little edit because this didn't come out when I wrote the script, but new Thomas was revealed for 2026, and I'm scared. We'll have to see where this goes. Also, it's time I show off my collection. Save your money, they said. Invest, and you'll become rich in the future, they said. Who's the one with Trackmaster Donald? Okay, I'm gonna try and not take too long in discussing my whole Thomas collection thus far. It's all laid out, and so yeah, we're gonna just talk about it, and this is the first item I got. We're not going in chronological order, obviously, it's just in like, sorta which section we're in. Like, yeah, I think you get it. And these are my plushes and my 2 books, and yeah, this is the first Thomas thing I owned, I think, and yeah, it's a cool pillow pet. I like it. Anyhow, this is the 2025 version. I really like the bottom of this thing. Like, it's kind of like a soft, hard material. I don't know. I really like it. And then the top is just your standard plush material. Yeah, and then we have Go Train Go and Stop Train Stop, and I know somewhere I own Crack in the Track. But here's all this, like, my customs, and then these 3 guys. This is an Erdl Duck, and Paint Splatter Tom, and a Boxman Clairbow. I found these all at, like, a local train show that we have every year, and, yeah, I got these two, this last one and this like some year before that, and I just got it because like I've always wanted something Bachman in my collection, and like this thing was like $15. Obviously it's a bit beat up, but you know what, 15 bucks for a Bachman anything, you know what, why not? Here's all the customs I have. This is Firecore Station. It's colored wrong, but I had to rush it out for a school project, and its main use was for Sonic X Thomas, if you remember that trailer I put out. Oh yeah, launching a creators program for that. I probably will mention more about that at the end of the video. I made 2 custom snowplows. I made the bridge from the intro, and here is Terence the tractor, because an actual Terence is too expensive. Okay, this is like all my All Engines Go and Wooden Railway stuff. So let's get the All Engines Go stuff out of the way since it's less like exciting. We got the Trackmaster Donald, as mentioned earlier, a duck, and All Engines Go Edward, which I painted the running board and buffers for. We all know Wooden Railway Henry, and yeah, because it's the most popular thing on Talk Thomas, and I recently restored his tender in a short. The tender is pretty underwhelming, but oh well, you have to do what you have to do. I got yet another paint splatter Thomas, but this time it's the Day Out with Thomas version. And I also have a 2022 Wooden Hero, and I think that's pretty cool. Now for the big stuff, the 80th anniversary merchandise. Of course, this collection is bound to grow, especially with me still trying to hunt down a Railway Series Thomas, which is basically impossible. But the first item I got of this new range was Ruby Thomas. A lot of people have taken a disliking to him, I've seen online, but you know what, I really love him. Then we got all my Trackmasters. We got Thomas, and Thomas, as well as Percy James, and I gotta say, either one of the Thomases or Percy's my favorite. Like, actually, it's probably like a tie between this Thomas and this Percy. Actually, maybe this Thomas is a little better, but I don't like the, there's some little detail on his side, which is why I got this Thomas in the first place. It's weird. And this is the only 2-pack I've ever gotten, and it's one of the only 2 I found in the United States so far. Come on, Mattel, we need Duck! Lastly, we just got the rest of the diecast range. And, you know, the fun thing about these, especially with the tender engines, is you can unscrew their parts. Haven't used that feature yet.
Make way for an important engine!
Ah! Okay, maybe I have. Oh yeah, I almost forgot this balloon my mom found in a grocery store, and we also got to look at my DVDs. Okay, I'll mention this later in the Ninjago video, but my sister also has her own little Thomas collection here, which, I don't know, I'm not missing much, to be perfectly honest with you. Anyhow, DVDs. We got these 2 DVDs, which I don't think either of them work. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. I remember Halloween Adventures being kind of fun, but it is really not in good condition. The camera does not show how bad it is. We got Ultimate Friendship Adventures, probably my favorite CGI DVD like ever. Railway Mischief, which is pretty good. James and the Red Balloon, pretty good. New Friends for Thomas. I really like the Angelus dubs of the episodes, if I'm being honest. Calling All Engines, my childhood movie. James Goes Buzz Buzz. I don't know. I never was that big of a Season 3 fan for whatever reason. I still liked it though. Come Ride the Rails, which I remember being way better than it was when I rewatched it. Thomas's Trusty Friends, which is somehow just as amazing as I remembered it being. Like, this is an amazing DVD. I'd recommend it to anyone. Percy Takes the Plunge, another childhood DVD, Splish Splash Splash, one that never got into the DVD player. Thomas's Special Letter, cool Season 4 DVD, although I didn't like the narrow gauge engines for the longest time. They've definitely grown on me though. Best of Percy. Percy has some of the best episodes, so like, no-brainer getting a Best of Percy. Came Up with Thomas, my least favorite Thomas DVD as a kid. Hero of the Rails, that was my dad's favorite Thomas movie. Thomas' Snowy Surprise, my first one. 10 Years of Thomas, one of my favorites. Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Thomas and the Magic Railroad, man. That should be its own video. And then we got more random DVDs. And none of them have to really do with Thomas. Oh, crap, we had trolls? Now that I've given you my history and just some history in general, time for my sales pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to stop saying that girls don't even watch my channel. These are the season highlights. Not all of them are my personal favorites from their respective seasons, but they're the ones I'd recommend to anyone, so 24 seasons, let's speedrun this. Season 1, Down the Mine. Season 2, A Close Shave, which also is the third part of its trilogy, so there's also 2 episodes before it, if you please. Season 3, Escape. Season 4 is a duology of Grand Puff and Sleeping Beauty. Season 5 is Blood Upon Percy. Season 6, Thomas the Jet Engine. Season 7, 3 Tears for Thomas. Season 8, Halloween. Season 9, Thomas and the Statue. Season 10, James the Second Best. Season 11, Hector the Horde. Season 12, James Works It Out. Season 13, Snow Tracks. I don't remember season 14 through 16 because they were all very boring, to be honest. Season 17, The Switch. Season 18, Old Reliable Edward. Season 19, Goodbye Fat Controller. Season 20, All in Vain. Season 21, Springtime for Diesel. Season 22, Hunt the Truck. Season 23, Heart of Gold. And Season 24, The Royal Engine. If it counts. It's a double-length episode, but it is the finale, and I think it's a great finale. For the last part of my little sales pitch, I'll be ranking the Thomas movies. Not in any way you'd expect, though. I'll be ranking them from how good they are of a starting point of they are to watch. Oh my gosh, how do you word that sentence? It's not even worded decorated in my script. So I'm ranking these Thomas movies in how good they are as a beginning point for watching the Thomas franchise. This isn't necessarily worst to best. It's just like what I said for episodes, it's more so what I'd rank for the casual audience. With that out of the way, Misty Island Rescue, Day of the Diesels, Big World, Big Adventures, Thomas and the Magic Railroad, The Great Race, Calling All Engines, King of the Railway, Journey Beyond Sodor, Tale of the Prey, Blue Mountain Mystery, Hero of the Rails, Great Discovery, Sodor's Legend, Love the Lost Treasure, and The Adventure Begins. Obviously, that was worst to best. Misty Island Rescue was last, and Adventure Begins was first. Whew, I am tired. I have to finish this video if you couldn't tell. Thomas the Tank Engine is my favorite show of all time. There's just so much to it that you can't find anywhere else. If you're interested in Thomas content, check out Talk Thomas in my channel description, and the end card. You should also be able to check out my Similarities of Sonic and Thomas Fans video, which will also be at the end screen. I hope you all enjoyed. Comment if this video gave you the reason to give Thomas a shot. If so, that will make my day for sure. Anyway, like for the algorithm, and subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, I'll see you next time as we discuss Lego Ninjago.